good to see you. Hello, and welcome to this little video. We just started and there's already a frog in my throat. I am using mints tonight just to kind of soothe my throat, which has been a little scratchy lately. But that aside, I'm really excited to share with you tonight the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that I recently purchased. They're all definitely interesting, a little bit weird, and I've not read any of them, but there's going to be some bangers in the group. So, this is the first look. Alright, the first book I picked up is the only hardcover that is a part of this particular little book haul, and that is The Empyrean. The by Olga. I hope I say this right. One of you taught me how to say her last name, and I hope I do you justice. It's by Olga Tokarczuk, who is a Nobel Prize winner. So this is a health resort horror story. Naturally, my favorite. And on the back, we have a bunch of blurbs. If you know me, you know that I give all of 2 figs about this. So instead, I'll read to you from the inner flap so you can get a sense of what the book is about. September 1913. A young Pole suffering from tuberculosis arrives at Wilhelm Opitz guest house for gentlemen in the village of Gorbersdorf, a health resort in the Silesian mountains. Every evening, the residents gather to imbibe the hallucinogenic local liqueur and debate the great issues of the day. Monarchy or democracy? Do devils exist? Are women born inferior? War or peace? Meanwhile, disturbing things are happening in the guest house and the surrounding hills. Someone or something seems to be watching, attempting to infiltrate this cloistered world. Little does the newcomer realize as he tries to unravel both the truths within himself and the mystery of the sinister forces beyond that they have already chosen their next target. Knowing her, I think it's going to be a wild ride, a wild, kooky, and absurd ride that is probably like impeccably written, and I cannot wait. I've read Flights by her, Flights, and I've also read Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, which is one of my favorites of all time. Flights I really liked, except for like the kind of curio cabinet stuff wasn't really my bag. The airport stuff specifically, yes. Next up we have 2 books, two books from the same little press. That would be Dorothy Press, tiny press that I really love. So that would be this first one, which is called Overstaying. Okay. Arian. Translated by Damien Searles. If you're new here, then you might not know how much I love literature and translation. Olga's would be in translation, this is in translation. And I think that's it for this run. What is this one? Are you in translation? Oh, 3 of the 5 are in translation tonight. I just find translated literature to be really world expanding and like possibilities of art expanding for me as an American reader. So this is also an absurdist book. And let's see, I think I'll just read. Okay. So it's a little bit the writer speaking on the book. But the narrator, here's the plot. The narrator is a contemporary Bartleby living alone in her parents' old house in the small hometown she hates but can't bring herself to leave. When a visitor turns up, promisingly new, she takes him in and instantly her life revolves around him. Yet it is hard to tell what exactly this visitor is. A mooch, a lover, an absence, a presence, possibly a pet. Mostly, he is a set of contradictions, an occasion for Coke's wild imagination to take readers in brilliant and unexpected directions. When I first picked up this book and I read on the back, and I was like, what is this thing? A mooch, a lover, an absence, a presence, possibly a pet. I was like, that describes our dog perfectly. Is she a mooch? Is she a lover? Is she an absence, a presence, possibly a pet? So, yeah, clearly going to be very wacky. And I'm really looking forward to it. I wonder what language. Oh, she's Swiss. The writer is Swiss. So maybe French, maybe German, maybe Italian. Oh, it's, oh no. There's a French title for the cover art, but not for this. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. Okay, also from Dorothy Press, this small, tiny little press that I really adore. We have my lesbian novel by Renee Gladman. And here's this weird little person flopping, just like belly flopping onto this pile of olives, perhaps. I was going to say flowers, but maybe olives. This press has published more than one book by this writer, but I think this will be my first from her. The narrator of my lesbian novel is Renee Gladman. Renee herself. An artist and writer who has produced the same acclaimed body of experimental art and prose as real-life Renee Gladman, and who is now being interviewed by an unnamed interlocutor about a project in process, a seeming departure from her other works, a lesbian romance. Between reflections on art making and the game of lesbian romance, a romance novel begins to take shape on the page, alongside the interview, which sometimes skips whole years between questions, so that time and aging become a part of the process. The result is a beautifully orchestrated dialogue between reflection and desire, or clarity and confusion, between the pleasures of formula and the pleasures of freedom in the unspooling of sentences over time. I think from the description it sounds very like up here, but I think it's going to be really great and more accessible. I just have a feeling it's going to be more accessible than it sounds. Not that there's anything wrong with it being less accessible. But yeah, I just feel like the concept could be fun. Because part of the concept is something so down to earth, like a lesbian romance novel. It's like, just like down here, kind of like grounded of the people. And we have this high-minded concept for this book as a whole hanging up here. Just sounded really dynamic and innovative to me, so I thought I would give it a try. I'll let you know what I think. Okay, and then we have our third book in translation for the night. Is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised? Okay. This is a family lexicon. Family lexicon by Natalia Ginsburg. My girl, Natalia Ginsburg. If you're not new here, then you know that over the past year, I have been on a big Natalia Ginsburg kick. I think she's phenomenal. I think she can basically do no wrong. I'm obsessed. So, this is translated from the Italian afterward by Peg Boyers. I don't see. The translation is by Jenny McPhee. Thank you, translator. And it was originally published in Italian in 1963. If you are new to the Ginsburg sphere, my personal favorites, I'm just going to give you a list. They're all fantastic. You can't go wrong. Sagittarius, Valentino, The Dry Heart, Happiness as Such. But they're all like up here, okay? But it's Sagittarius, Valentino, The Dry Heart, Happiness as Such for me. For me, that's what it is. I thought it was time for some more Ginsburg, more Natalia Ginsburg. It's always time for more. And if you're looking for other interesting books or books in translation, not exclusively, but they have a lot. This little coupon, press, the New York Review of Books. They have a lot of good stuff. So, reading you the plot or synopsis. An Italian family, sizable with its routines and rituals, crazes, pet phrases, and stories, doubtful, comical, indispensable, comes to life in the pages of Natalia Ginsburg's family lexicon. Giuseppe Levi, the father, is a scientist consumed by his work and a mania for hiking. I did not see that coming. When he isn't provoked into angry remonstration by someone misspeaking or misbehaving or wearing the wrong thing. He's like a discer. Giuseppe is Jewish, married to Lydia, a Catholic. Though neither is religious, they live in the industrial city of Turin where, As the years pass, their children find ways of their own to medicine, marriage, literature, politics. It is all very ordinary, except that the background to the story is Mussolini's Italy in its steady downward descent to race law and world war. The Levis are, among other things, unshakable anti-fascists. Family Lexicon is about a family and language, and about storytelling not only as a form of survival, but also as an instrument of deception and domination. The book takes the shape of a novel, yet everything is true. Every time that I have found myself inventing something in accordance with my old habits as a novelist, I have felt impelled at once to destroy it, Ginsberg tells us at the start. The places, events, and people are all real. I actually hadn't read the back. I kind of blind bought this one. It's a pretty color. And now, having read the back, I am really looking forward to it. I think this cover is gorgeous too. So, the final book is one that was given to me by my partner for my birthday. It's a little Rachel Cusk. It's called Marble in Metamorphosis. It's just like a really good cover. It's just like a really good cover. So this one, it's not a novel. It's kind of like, I think, a series of essays. And also, as you can see, color photographs of marble works of art, works of art in progress, and yeah, essays. Marble and Metamorphosis contemplates the physical and cultural life of marble. It explores the ethics, politics, and symbolism of its use, and deliberates over the spirit of the material and why some cultures so revere and desire it. In reflecting on the deep relationship between marble and human culture, it considers the social and historical function of the material throughout time. Marble and Metamorphosis features a new essay on marble and its uses written by Rachel Cusk, who, while on a trip to a marble-bearing island in Greece, writes on the modern notion of classicism, the fate of monuments through history, and the tension between classicism and realism in art and architecture. Chris Conto's photographic series explores two landscapes marked by marble and its uses. The island of Tinos, with its centuries-old tradition of marble mining and craft, and Athens, which has an ancient and enduring connection to marble, evident in its ubiquitous presence throughout the city. These photographs tell a story of extraction, craft, and tradition, and how meaning is made and remade through marble as a material in the city. It's like a little pricey. Those colored photos are a little pricey. But I'm super excited to read this one. And actually I want to make my partner write a little inscription to me in the front. He was gonna, but he forgot, and he said remind him, so I'm gonna remind him. So this one was written in English. At least Rachel Cusk's part. I'm not sure about the other part, but so thus concludes this little book haul, the first book haul of the year. I hope that you are doing super, super, super well. And if you're not, that is always okay too. I will talk to you very soon. And until then,